I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome back to Wilder Possibilities Podcast.
Ooh, okay, I better get
You gotta get ready. Okay, so I have my new friend, Roxy Earle, and she's here today. And I mean, just describing what you do, you just need to tell everybody what you do. Just describe yourself. How would you even say it? Besides,
oh my gosh, I'm a former Real Housewife, so that's how a lot of people know me. I was on Bravo's Real Housewives of Toronto. So you guys didn't get it here, so nobody saw me here. So I'm an absolute complete unknown in LA. Can't even get a hair appointment, which is why I probably need some dry shampoo today. I don't know where you get a blowout, get your hair done here. Because...
Oh my gosh, just call me.
No, I can't even get a hair appointment.
Charisse comes to my house 3 days a week.
Who are you? Who do you know? Nobody. Okay, goodbye. Click. Anyway, so I'm new to LA. I'm new to LA. I was on The Real Housewives.
Yes.
Since being on The Real Housewives, I started this thing called MySize Rocks. So essentially, I got known as being the big housewife. And I was
Yo, I'm sitting with her. Not big. You're not large.
Well, it's been a journey. My body has fluctuated, and with that, so did headlines about me. They literally dubbed me the first plus size housewife, and
that was like your claim to fame.
I had no idea that would be my claim to fame.
Oh my gosh!
But imagine the moment when someone says, "How does it feel to be the first plus size housewife?" And you're thinking you're having this incredibly fabulous moment where everyone that you've ever gone to high school with or everyone who's ever turned you down for a job is now going to see you being on this huge TV platform.
Yeah.
And I'm introduced as the plus size one. And I was like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, I didn't consider myself plus size. I didn't know. Anyways, so that was a moment.
Yeah.
And I could have started to cry and punch the journalist, but that's not my style. So instead... I said, I'm not my size. I said, I'm not plus size. I'm my size. And my size rocks.
That was how it worked?
And like a hashtag was born, a movement was born. I became this advocate for women who just had never seen themselves on TV before. And from that, I was the first person in Canada to put extra small to 3X in one store. I started clothing lines and built clothing lines with huge size ranges, all at the same price in the store. Like, you didn't have to go to like the store in the bottom of the mall that you're ashamed of. You could go to a store that you liked going to and see your size on the rack in the shop, which at the time was revolutionary for plus size clothing.
What is the timeline here with this?
So Housewives happens and it all just begins. I open my phone. I start
that in did you tell me 2015?
2018.
2018 you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2018, 2019.
Okay, so 2 years.
Wait, hold on. I can't remember.
I thought you said 2015 or 2016.
When was 7 years ago? 24,
that
23,
was
2017. 2017. And I think
2017 and 2018. Two full seasons, 2 years.
No, I just did one season and I was like a one-hit wonder. Like, I wasn't the one-hit wonder, but I was a breakout star of the whole thing, but everyone else sort of fizzled.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
How were you cast on Housewives of Toronto?
I was technically not married, but according to the internet, I was married. I was living with a man. I was living with a man who I would call my husband. We had a big celebration and did the whole thing. Okay. But we weren't technically married, which no one really knows, but now you know.
Heard it here. You get the hot goss right here.
And I mean, I didn't really know all the details of why he didn't sign paperwork. That didn't occur to me at the time. So anyways, I was with a guy who was an older man in finance, and he was 17 years older than me.
Okay, yeah.
He had 2 kids. I was like this young girl. I was 25 when I met him, and it was like, okay, this seems like fun. Definitely would have been a great, fun experience. But until it's not, and until it doesn't make sense.
Okay, but you fell in love, and you were doing all these fun things.
I was traveling all over the world, living this really fabulous lifestyle.
Wow.
But I already had this like killer career going. I was working for American Express and Ogilvy and Mather, which is their agency, and American Express. And I was working globally for them in London, Toronto. And
oh, wow.
I was in Toronto. Then I got moved to London, where their like HQ for advertising was. I was working on the global advertising team. I had like this killer career going.
Yeah. At a young age. Yeah.
At a young age. And I was like, so I wasn't just like meeting a guy for money or anything like that. No. I just sort of found him interesting and sophisticated. And I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. I think I need to reflect back on that. But it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Love is love.
And many years later, we ended up living what looked like a very lavish lifestyle. And we were traveling and living in a certain way. And so the show casts for women who are living certain lifestyles. Living large.
Yeah.
And so they cast me on the show.
Go out for it. What
you don't audition. They come to you.
Yeah.
And apparently they'd like reached out, tried to be getting in touch with me for a while, and they couldn't get in touch with me because I wasn't even having a public Instagram. My Instagram was called Luxurious Traveler, and it was just and it was private, and it was just for my friends showing all these fabulous places I was going.
I love it.
So anyways, they get in touch with me. They like start talking to me about the show. They obviously are interested. I'm good on TV.
She's really good on camera. No fear.
If you're not aware by now, I'm very comfortable with myself, but I didn't know what was sort of being set up for me. Like I didn't know I didn't know that they were very excited about positioning me as this like plus size woman in the Housewives world. Because I'm a bigger, curvier girl, but I'm living this big, fabulous life that's aspirational. And so the juxtaposition between what women traditionally don't want to be seen as and what women traditionally do want to be seen as was, I guess, interesting to them. And
also beautiful, but like so confident.
Yeah,
you're just like so yourself.
I didn't know that any of these. I mean, I'd always kind of grown up. I'd never considered myself like the big one. Like I was curvy. But like voluptuous, but like so was Beyonce and Mariah Carey. Like I didn't think it was a bad thing, but when the show happened, a lot kind of came with that, and a lot came with people telling me about my size. And then the interesting thing
were the girls like so small?
Oh yeah, they were so small on the show. Yes, I was the big one on the show. Oh yeah, and there was like a whole storyline about how dresses didn't fit me, and like. It was like made to be a big storyline of the show. Wow. So this whole time I didn't know that my body was going to become like the thing about me.
Oh my God.
Not just the show. It was going to be in every single headline to this day. If you Google me, it's like Roxy Earle plus size. I'm in Forbes and it's talking about how I'm plus size.
Wow.
And you're like, why aren't we talking about my business accomplishment?
Oh, wow.
But it's coupled with plus size. Oh
my gosh. Wow.
So I go on this journey. I go on this journey of like kind of stepping into this thing where I'm supposed to be this curvy ambassador. But what people didn't know and what was really challenging is in my personal life, I was with a guy who met me and I was like a young, the young trophy wife type thing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So plus size did not fit into that. So,
oh my God, we never talked about that.
No, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
And as the pressure grew with the show and our life and our personal life was really crumbling, and the stress I was under in my personal life was just, I can't even get into it all now because that's like so many hours of conversation about what was going on in my personal life, but it was really bad. And with that, I just, used food as a way to self-soothe. And so my weight was gaining. I was gaining weight and I was getting bigger.
So you were gaining weight, getting bigger.
And everyone's applauding me for being plus size. And I'm becoming this ambassador to all these women. But at my home life, I'm being called fat. I'm being called like, you've got to be losing weight. You should be getting plastic surgery. You should be going on a diet. You're so fat. And I'm like having my partner is eroding my confidence. And yet I am on billboards in a bikini, the biggest I've ever been, promoting a plus size swimwear line.
Oh my gosh.
So
That is a lot for your
lot.
brain.
Honestly, even if I say it now, it's a lot for my brain to handle. Because I'm just on this journey of figuring out like my self-love and my body and accepting it. And I'm doing it publicly, but what people don't know is that in my private, I'm becoming this ambassador for confidence. I'm being asked to write books on confidence. I'm being asked to speak on confidence, give keynotes on confidence, go on TV and talk about confidence. And I was confident, but my confidence was being eroded. And it was being eroded because I was in this toxic relationship where that person's issues were being projected all onto me. Like his self-esteem had to do with how I looked.
Wow.
Like, you know how you have some guys who like having the certain job, having the certain woman is all part of the criteria. And I don't hold that against him. Like, you know, we all have things that come with these like prototypes of who we feel we need to be. And he was very self-conscious about my size.
Okay, this is a question.
So
when you were 25, were you a different size?
I was smaller than I am now.
Okay.
But he thought that was too big. I was kind of about maybe like a beautiful and curvaceous 10.
Okay, when you met.
Yeah.
And then
I started to gain weight because I was traveling all over the world. What are you supposed to do? You're going to these nice restaurants and eating and like, no one tells you. Okay, I didn't grow up like that. So like, I was like, wow, I'm eating these best restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Wine.
Yeah, Michelin
dinner.
stars, 7 courses.
You're traveling, so you're not in your routine. So, I mean, I did gain weight. And I kind of was like, by the time I did the show, I was like a beautiful, curvaceous, maybe a 12, 14.
Okay.
And then
they're saying that was
like huge. So it was huge at the time. Huge.
Wow.
To give reference, I'm a 12 right now, but I'm a very different 12 now. I'm a very healthy 12 now.
Okay.
I'm a strong, healthy.
You're like
out.
strong.
I am a strong,
working
fit.
out. Yeah, solid.
I love being and I'm always on. I'm still on this journey, right?
Okay.
But imagine, so I'm this young woman. I'm leading this life. By the time I do the show, I'm 31.
Yeah.
Okay. Or 33. I don't know how to, I'm really not good with numbers, Shelton.
Okay. 33.
You know, like I'm some age. I'm somewhere in my early 30s.
Some age.
I'm some age in my early 30s. I've been with him a while now, off and on. Yeah. But the pressure about my body is building. Now I'm known as this like ambassador for women of all sizes.
Wow.
I've coined this term, MySize rocks. And so it was almost like my audience allowed me to feel comfortable in my body and okay with my size. But I'm going through so much stress that I'm in an unhealthy way gaining weight.
Okay.
And I'm gaining weight and I'm not feeling great, but I'm still fucking showing up for myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the billboard in a bikini still.
Yeah, you still did it.
Joanna's campaign with NYX, I shot at my heaviest. By that time I had like really I'd gained a lot of weight. I was about a size maybe 16 or 18.
Yeah.
And I was big and I was on a campaign for Joanna with NYX in a swimwear.
Yeah.
So it's not like I didn't show up and still
you kept going.
I was on red carpets. I was like my height of my interest in me was at its peak. And so at the peak interest in me, I'm my biggest. Yeah. My life is personally, privately falling apart. I'm literally known for living this fabulous, luxurious life, but my life is wildly crumbling.
Oh, God.
And everything just falls apart.
Okay.
It falls apart. Like, I don't even know I don't know how much time this podcast has, but things fall apart.
Yeah.
So around the time the show actually debuts on TV is around the exact same time my life begins to fall apart.
Oh my gosh. Wait, because when did they tape it first? When does it air?
It takes about 8 months before it comes out.
Wow.
Or maybe like 6 months before it comes out, but things were already unraveling.
Oh, God.
And so I do the show. It's coming out. I'm becoming more popular, but my partner, his life is not in a great place. And the attention on me is just gaining momentum. Not to mention the attention isn't just on me. I'm becoming like worldwide news about my body.
Oh,
so like I'm in Glamour magazine, I'm in InStyle, and everyone's beginning to know that I'm his wife, but I'm the plus size like wife.
So he's just like,
so he's not liking it.
Oh,
like he wants to support me, but he actually, I don't think could, because it was just he had too many insecurities about weight and what a woman should be and what his wife should look like.
Wow.
For it to be
okay for all.
So it was like this endless give and take between, I support you, but when I'm mad or angry or drinking, you're fat and you're ugly and you need to lose weight. But then I want to be a good person, so I support you. And it was just mental, like, torture.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I'm having to be so confident, and yet things are not confident enough.
Yeah. Toxic.
So anyways, the relationship begins to unravel. But by this time, I've left this high-flying career I've had. I've stepped into this new career as a professional housewife. I'm trying to launch all these.
That's a job.
This is a job.
I've
now launched a huge clothing line. I've got momentum's building around me, but I'm not exactly like wildly financially successful. Like, to everybody, just so you know, the success comes before the money. Like, you start to become, it's like when an actor gets a hit movie. Okay, you need to get the next movie. And then maybe, so your lifestyle, like, people think that they look at you thinking you're so successful, but things are just beginning. Like, you're just starting and building, right?
Yeah. But that's like this whole illusion. And this whole
he is not supportive of any of it. So he's like, I'm not supporting this. I'm not giving you money for clothes or this or that or this lifestyle. He doesn't want to be a part of any of it. He's hating the Housewives thing. And so things are not going well at home. And then my father passes away. And when my father passed away, it was one of the most profound things that ever happened to me in my life. I came from a beautiful family. My mom and dad married forever, over 30 years. And when my father passed very quickly from pancreatic cancer, it was, thank you. It was this moment where I said to myself, I can't live like this. Like, in honor of him not getting to live, I have to live happily. Right? Yeah. And it was, you said, when do things click?
The click. Yeah.
That was the click.
That was your click.
That was my click.
That is so sad, but what a gift from your dad. Like,
it was his last gift to me.
It's his gift.
Was to just free my life.
Because you saw their relationship. You're like,
and just happiness. Like, this life should not be this stressful. There was so much deceit. There was so much problems happening. It was like the stress was mounting to like an uncontrollable level in my personal life. And yet I would have to like go on TV and show up and be this like happy, confident person who's trying to build something. And then I would like come back to the hotel room and get a phone call where it was like a screaming match. And I was like, oh God, I can't do this. No. Like, I can't live like this.
Then you're like, my dad would
and then
never
I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Okay.
So I literally pack up my bags. By this time, he's already like moved countries and like, funnily enough, moved to California. And he didn't get me a visa. Just so you know, if you're Canadian, you need a visa to live in California. He doesn't think to do any of that. He just takes care of himself and leaves. He's got 2 kids in Toronto and just leaves. No house for us, nothing, just leaves. I move in with my parents.
Wow.
When I'm on the Real Housewives, okay?
Guys, this is what we need to hear. This is the real reality of what
not good.
Of what happens.
It's not good. So I start living with my parents, between my parents' house and my brother's house. Yeah. He's taken off to California, couldn't give a shit. And then he's like, come out and visit me in California. I'm like trying to salvage this thing. My dog is in California because now, like, it's just a disaster. God. And I'm trying to unwind this relationship. And he's in a really bad place. So I don't think I can leave him, because I think if I leave him, it's not going to be good.
Oh God.
Like, because he's now, the guilt is like, you can't leave me like it just, I'm now in this position where I can't leave him, but I feel like I need to leave. I feel trapped. And that is around the time when my father passed away.
Yeah.
2 weeks after he had gone to California. And so kind of that takes about a year to unwind. That takes about a year.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 8 months or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes some time to unwind. I'm alone in California when I come out here. I don't know anyone. I have no friends. I'm in Newport Beach. I feel super isolated. I'm the big girl. I'm not blonde.
I mean,
it's not going well for me.
Newport Beach.
My husband's not wildly rich at this point anymore. He's having his own problems.
Yeah.
And so it's not a good look in Newport Beach. Like, girls are like, who's chick? She's like an ex-Real Housewife, but we haven't heard of her, and has a plus-size fashion line. Like, no. There's another place I can't get a haircut. Can't even get a good girl to do glam for me. I'm like on glam.
I have you.
Instead of having like the best glam team in Canada, I'm like on Glam Squad because I want to do my glam out there. You know what I mean? It's that kind of situation.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're really.
So,
yeah.
Should I speed it up?
No, you're doing perfect.
Oh, okay. Anyways, to make a long decades of stories short, I just walk out one day. Like I just leave that apartment in California and I was like, took my dog and I was like, close the door. And I just said, I'm never coming back here.
Like this is.
I didn't break up. I didn't do anything. I just left. Okay. I didn't have some huge, I just left. I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And I come back to Toronto and I rent myself an apartment in like the best neighborhood. Cause now I'm, things are going well for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, we're not Housewives rich, but we're beginning.
But you can get your own apartment.
I can get myself a cute little bachelor pad.
That's great.
Bachelor
pad.
So he calls and he's like, when are you coming back to LA or California or Newport Beach? And I was like, oh, I'm not. Like, I live in Toronto. Like, this is where my family is. This is where my friends are. This is where my business is. This is where I'm known.
Yeah. Like,
this is where I live.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so is it an apartment for like us? And I was like, no, it's an apartment for me.
And you're done.
This is my house. I paid for it and this is done. And I just basically, I'm like, I'm done.
Wow.
I don't need anything. So I wasn't actually technically married, so I wasn't entitled to anything, I don't think.
Yeah.
Things I didn't actually think of at the time, but you're young and silly. And so I say to him.
And you're capable.
Yeah. And I just said, I don't want, like, if I take anything from you, you're going to tell me that you made me. He would always be like, I made you.
Exactly.
You would be nothing without me. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'll be something without, I am something without you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
And so I just made him sign this piece of paper that said he'll never take any of my business. And he says, your business isn't worth anything. And I was like, great. So sign this paper.
Yes.
Sign the paper.
It. So here's a DocuSign.
He signs the paper. And the only thing he puts in the document to me is, you will not disparage me in public.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to sign that. I was like, I'm not because I want to disparage you, but because this is my story.
It's true.
Like the inspiring part about me. So I've actually never told this story. So you're one of the first people I'm telling it to.
Right.
But like it is, the inspiring thing is everyone thinks that I was married to this really rich guy, got this big divorce settlement, and then, oh, how good for her. She went on and found her merry way. No, I started back at nothing.
My God.
So I rented myself that apartment.
Yes, girl.
I built up my business again because I had to take care of a lot of things. Yeah. Ending things with him was very expensive for me. I know.
Yeah.
You don't think about that, but it is. And I basically started at nothing again.
Wow.
And I just built up and my business started to go really well. I was set free.
Yeah.
And the moment I was set free and started living authentically.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful things began to happen. Wow. And I went out into the world. My business started to grow. My clothing line was booming. I started losing weight. I started becoming healthy. Like the stress was what was keeping all that weight building and on.
Yeah.
I started working out. I started feeling good. I was glowing. Like people were like on the street. They're like, what's happened to you? And then one day
I got set free.
I was free. And then one day I was like, you know what I really want to do? I want to have a baby. So I walk into an office, actually a guy friend set me up with a friend of his who's a fertility doctor. Uh-huh. And I walk into his office and he's like, go talk to my friend. He's like the best fertility doctor in Canada. And I was like, okay, amazing. I go talk to him. I walk into his office and I basically can't even speak. I'm like, I've just met the man I'm going to marry. This time I'm actually going to marry him. Like paper.
Actually marry him.
Can't work at all.
Yeah. And babies.
So, So that was about 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Today I have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old. I'm married to Dr. Arnold Mahason, the most incredible fertility doctor ever.
Oh yeah. We're getting him out there. He's going to take over California now.
And we've just, in those 5 years, we've built 2 houses. Yeah. We've built 2 babies. We've built 2 apps. Our life is incredible. I've lost 50 pounds in a healthy way. And between 2 babies.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like
we've helped thousands of women with our apps.
Oh.
I've launched 7 clothing lines, and we've just sold our house in Toronto and decided to move to California.
Yeah. And you just came here.
Yeah. So that's 5 years minus 6 weeks ago. That here we are.
Here you are.
That's my story.
Oh my gosh. Well,
is that a long story? I know I did a lot of talking, Shelton.
No, this is what it's supposed to be.
But that's the truth. And women need to know that life isn't this like, look, 34 overweight divorcee ex-reality TV star. This isn't, you don't put that shit on Tinder, right? That's not, you're not, this isn't like you're signing up your profile. Like, it's not.
Hey, I'm going to go on Hinge.
I'm like, you should really meet Roxy. Like, it was.
Oh my God.
It was.
Hey, Mom, I'm bringing home Roxy.
You can imagine his parents. They were like, no.
The plus size.
Oh my God. They're traditional Sri Lankan. They were like, no. She's not even a doctor. Like, what is she? A model? She's not even a model. She's a plus size model. I was like, well, I have a successful business. And they were like, model. Ah, they were so freaked out. His parents were like devastated with this. Because one thing you've got to know about my husband, Shelton, is he is like the most perfect man. Like,
oh my God.
People are obsessed with him.
Yeah.
He's good at everything. He's handsome.
Yeah.
He's
I see him on your Instagram all the time.
Plays all these instruments. He's just perfect. Went to an Ivy League school. Like, he's perfect. He's literally perfect.
But you guys locked in and fell in love immediately.
We were the most in love that in love could be. The most magical. It was true love.
No, it was
literally love at first sight.
You told me like that, and then you were like, I have to leave.
I can't.
You're like, I can't be here.
We'd only had a conversation about like my vagina and like, or like whatever you're talking about with a fertility doctor.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with him, and then
I gotta go.
We took some time before, because you have to take some time, like before you kind of do some things together, like before you go out or anything. And we didn't get romantically involved. It took like months before he could have a date with me, and before.
No, yeah.
It's a whole thing. We did it all
by the book. Yeah.
Not about to like get this guy whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but we didn't want any trouble. So we did it the right way.
Yeah.
And then when we went on our first date, we've been together ever since.
You were just like,
it was true love.
Oh my God.
Like the most magical, beautiful.
His parents are good now.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'd rather be a doctor, but.
But what about your cutest babies?
Cutest babies.
I think
those are cute babies.
Oh my God.
I might not be a doctor, but I got cute babies for them. I gave them some cute grades.
Yeah.
We just are so wildly in love. And I think like when we got married, people were just like, it's just been the most magical love story to follow. Not just for me, for my followers.
Wow.
For the people who followed my life and watched me be like on this roller coaster, and then go out into the world and say, girls, I know that I'm starting over, like rebuilding. And people have been watching all along, cheering me on. They've seen me at my lowest. I was open with it. And so I did talk about how I was in a bad place. I didn't give the details, but people knew I was obviously ending a marriage. It's not good. And, you're losing parents. It's not good. Like they knew I was in a bad place, but I was never really super open about it all. Yeah. But I was open about how I felt. I just didn't give details. Mm-hmm. And so people have been rooting for me.
I see.
And now they're so inspired because they're like, I can't tell you how many women tell me, I left an abusive relationship because of you. I left a toxic relationship because of you. You gave me the strength to leave. Like, I'm a bigger girl and I never thought I could fall in love again, but you gave me hope. And like, it's a beautiful thing to watch someone who you follow or inspired by or who's authentic to put themselves out there and then to win.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's winning. Yeah.
And so people have been really beautiful and supportive. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah. And you moved to?
And now I live in LA.
Yeah. And so tell us why you wanted to come here. I think that's really amazing what you talk about in your story about why you wanted to come to LA.
Well, I think LA is the kind of place where I can take things to the next level and like really be 100% authentically myself and focused on success and like building and like entrepreneurship. Like there's a culture here in LA of people who are trying. And I'm trying really hard. My husband and I are trying. We're trying to build good, cool things that help people.
Yeah.
And so we didn't, like, I've been offered every weight loss deal in the world. I could have made some stupid powder and sold it to people and made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Instead, I made a fertility app with my husband called Anna that helps you get pregnant at home. I've now made this other app that helps style men for dates. That's coming out. Yeah,
I love that.
I find the guy and then I get the babies.
Yeah.
It's like works both ways. And so I know it sounds weird, fashion and fertility, but he's in fertility and I'm in fashion. So
I think it goes together.
And so it's just like, I want to do cool things. I want to create cool things. I want to be surrounded by people who inspire me. I want to build. I want to grow. I want to learn. And so we came to California to make the dream come true.
And that's what you were saying, that this kind of culture here
totally
really highlights, and people are excited for your success here.
That's not the same in Toronto.
Yeah, but that I wanted you to say that because I think it's so cool when I follow you and you ask questions on your stories and everything. But it's
the truth.
Interesting.
Like, culturally, people are much more conservative in Canada, and they're much more
or in the South.
Okay, I don't know about the South.
Yeah, I'm
like,
just saying, like,
this is a city of dreamers filled with people who are trying. And you go and introduce yourself to someone, and they ask you, like, what cool thing. I just met someone in your hallway. What's the first thing? Oh, what cool thing are you doing, and why are you here?
Why are you on the podcast?
And it's not like a weird question to ask. It's like, because we want to connect, and now I'm going to connect with her, and like that's the culture here, and I like that, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Also, my husband's like the celebrity fertility doctor, so obviously we're very Beverly Hills.
Yes, very Beverly Hills with the fertility. I mean,
like we suit Beverly. This is we suit LA. Yeah. We can't be flashy in Toronto and fabulous. I love wearing fabulous clothes. I love dressing up. I love all the glitz, the glam. I love it all, and that's very authentic to who I am. Yeah. And so I don't know what he says, but him too. We like it all. We like the razzle dazzle. And so
sorry, Mom.
We gotta be in LA.
But I like the razzle dazzle. I know. Well, I mean,
I'm too sparkly for Toronto.
Yes, right no, you are. No,
I love Toronto. It's my home. But right now I feel a bit too sparkly for it.
Yeah, it's a little loud.
It's just right now I need to be here.
Yeah. That's why.
And it's at another point in my life I needed to be in my home.
Be there. Yeah.
But now I'm ready to grow more. And here we are.
Well, that's how in Charlotte, where I was from.
Okay.
I felt like I peaked out.
Yeah.
At 26. So I was like, I gotta move.
We're ready for something bigger.
Yeah, I gotta try LA. Listen, I might crash and burn, and then I can move home. But
that's what I said. Well, I'm on week 6. So
yeah, you are like already in.
Hopefully I'm not back for the crash and burn pod. So you're like, and the story continues.
The story continues. No.
I'm just joking. We're not manifesting that. We're manifesting amazing things here.
Positron, you're doing all the things.
Yeah.
You're sparkling out.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. I'm proud of you.
You're proud
meeting
of
all
you.
your friends, and you're just like, so we met because Joanna, that
I love.
Yeah, her best friend was at Necker Island with me.
She is the founder of the incredible brand Knix.
Yes.
Which created period underwear.
The period underwear.
Why didn't we think of that?
Well, she did.
Thankfully, she did.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't anyone think of it before her? It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's changed my life. It's changed women's lives, teens' lives everywhere. It's incredible. So she's incredible.
She's unbelievable. I can't wait.
And she's like, I've met your new friend in LA. You're going to love Shelton. You were my first friend date.
Yeah, friend date. Yeah. And then we went for coffee, and I was like,
and we couldn't stop talking. Because you have that energy.
Oh, well, so do you.
No, but you have that energy where you make people feel comfortable. And like, that's a beautiful thing, because there's a lot of people in this town who are not comfortable.
No, well, I'm like really just comfortable in my skin, but I love it when people shine.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
I want people to shine.
That's called being secure.
Yeah.
Not everyone's secure, right? They're worried about, if she takes the spotlight, then where is it for me? It's like, no, that's not how it works. No,
I'm like, give it all.
Yeah, the spotlight shines on all of us. Yeah. Like, there's not like just a little bit of spotlight.
No, there's an abundance of spotlight.
There's an abundance of spotlight.
And then I just am obsessed with having the coolest people around, the coolest women around me. And that's why I started.
You've got some cool
that's why we have wilder women and all these things. And that's why I want to do the podcast, because it's like talking about entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with entrepreneurs. I think it's so amazing.
I'm sure all of everyone who listens to your podcast knows that Shelton does this amazing thing called What do you, Wilder Women? I was going to say Wilder Wednesdays, and then I was like,
it is Wilder
was it on a Wednesday?
No, Wilder Wednesdays is my video of it.
So Wilder Women, I like it. It's a big brand with a lot of pieces to it. And so I went and we all stood up and like introduced ourselves and talked about like interesting things about ourselves. And I met such great women there. Yeah. And it's like, that's a beautiful thing.
And that's my whole thing. It's like for fun and for free. And I just want people to
She's like the Soho House of like entrepreneurial, fabulous women.
I'm trying. I think it's fun. I just like it. That's what I said. Only thing that you have to do, the only requirement is that you meet a new friend and send me a selfie.
Okay.
And,
I haven't sent you a selfie yet, but
of all your new
it will
friends.
come.
Yeah.
It will come.
So it's fun. But I mean, I love your story here. I'm so happy that I got to get the real dish.
Yeah, that's a real dish.
The real scoop.
That's a real scoop.
But I love it.
But you have to be, it wasn't that I was like being inauthentic before. It was that it takes time to heal to a point where you're comfortable sharing.
Of course.
Because those are really big things that happened to me. And for me to talk about them, you have to have healed from them. Like, and it took a long time to heal from all of that, like verbal abuse and all of like the toxicity that was going on and all the body stuff. Like there was a lot built into all of that, not to mention the crazy abundance of wild stress and deceit and all sorts of things. Like it was a lot to get over. And I got over it privately because I wanted to be respectful. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't wish negatively upon anyone, him especially. I wish him well. We still stay in touch.
Oh, that's,
And like, I don't wish bad things for him. I wish a good life for him. But this is my truth. And at some point, people need to know, like, why is my story so inspiring?
Yeah.
It's inspiring because I literally started again at 34 and built my life back up and built it on my terms, the way I wanted. Yeah. And I bet on myself. And most people don't have the confidence to do that. And so for anybody who's listening, if you're in a time of your life or a place in your life where you think there has to be better, know that there can be better, but you have to bet on yourself. No one else is going to make it happen for you. No one else is going to solve your problems. Go out and get the life you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
And you really did. I mean,
I really did.
This beautiful life. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I'm happy for you.
And it feels like the other thing when I hear these stories is that you have forgiveness.
100%. I don't hold.
That's what I mean.
I don't hold resentment or anger towards any of it. If I wasn't in the relationship that I was in, I probably would have been pregnant and had kids because I was fertile. And I mean, without, elaborating on the story, I did not have a baby. And so for me to not have I would have been in a relationship where I would have probably had kids along the way.
Yeah.
And instead, I thought maybe there was something wrong with me. And I walked into an office to talk to a fertility doctor. I wouldn't have gone into that office to meet Arnold.
Yeah.
It
wasn't for this.
If it wasn't for the relationship that I was in.
Yes.
So it sounds crazy, and I don't know if it's the most flattering thing to say, but I see my past relationship and experiences as the tax on the love that I have now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Taxes are high. I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
So the tax is high.
The tax is high.
Tax is high on love.
But it's here. Yeah.
Here it is. You go through bad things and you get through it, and the world rewards you if you stay positive and be a good person.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, how do you know it's supposed to happen? Because it did.
Yeah, because
all those things. And it led you to this. And now you're in LA.
And now I'm in the most fabulous house of Miss Wilder herself doing her podcast.
We're doing the podcast.
And I've only been here 6 weeks.
Yeah. You already have all these built-in friends. It's because of your best friend that went to Necker Island.
Thank goodness for Joanna.
We love her.
We love her.
Okay, well, follow along, Roxy Earle. Wait, what's your Instagram is?
Luxurious Roxy.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah, and then my apps are...
tell them.
Yeah, the Anna app, which if you're struggling to get pregnant at home, this is an app that helps people get pregnant at home who can't get pregnant naturally, but don't quite need IVF.
Okay.
There's this in-between group, and my husband created a program for those patients of his.
I know that.
They could avoid having to spend like thousands and thousands of dollars on IVF. Tens of thousands of dollars on IVF. He created a program for his patients who didn't need IVF, but if you walked into a clinic, they would just sell you IVF.
Okay.
Because you do need something, but you don't quite need that.
Not yet.
He's not. The program, Anna, takes you through some supplements, some at-home medication, a tracker. It's got a mental wellness component to it to handle the stress. And it helps patients get pregnant, and it works. And then if you need IVF, you go see Dr. Arnold.
Yeah.
Of
course.
Yeah. Because some people need IVF.
Yeah.
It's not everyone.
Yeah. And so, Anna, how do you spell?
ANA. That's the Anna app on Instagram.
The Anna. Okay.
You'll see it on it. You just follow my Instagram. You'll see it.
You'll see it all. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have another app coming out, which is in private beta.
It's going to be
really cool. Style Dial. Yeah.
Style Dial.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Joe's husband made up the name.
It's perfect. Yeah. I love it. Okay. Well, everybody can follow along, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Shelton. I appreciate it.
Buddy.
Yay.
Okay, bye. I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder.